Tune in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, April.
Hello.
I see your big smile over there. I am so elated to have you on today's episode. And you guys, we are having the best time today because it is totally a celebration in honor of April Chavez. Am I saying it right? Her new name, by the way.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. April Chavez is graduating from How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. And so you're going to learn so much about her on today's episode. You're going to hear some of her backstory, why she even decided to start a show. Anyway, what made that even come about? And what were some of the things that she learned from taking the course, How to Start a Show from Scratch? I am thrilled to be able to say that I had the distinct honor and privilege to coach her throughout this process. And you all are in for a tremendous treat as we learn more about April throughout today's broadcast. I want to go ahead and formally introduce you to everyone. As people are grabbing your virtual seats, I want you to know that April is a mother of 3 beautiful miracle daughters and a past police officer. Diagnosed with something at an early age, I'm going to let her talk to you about it. She had symptoms since birth, but she's a survivor and she's a thriver. She enjoys hiking, and she's a talk show host and a microphone maven. Oh my goodness. She has dreamed of protecting and serving her community, inspired by what her mother did as a nurse. And she drove patrol vehicles, did the high-speed response, and all kinds of things that she's going to talk about herself directly in her backstory. So I just want to welcome the new Mrs. April Chavez, and Mr. Manley Chavez is her husband. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much for having me, Kim. It's a pleasure.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you here. And I see you all already coming into the virtual studio audience. Let me do this because I know that you share the broadcast too, right, April?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what I want to do is I want to put this as just a courtesy since we have someone graduating today. I want to put this link here in the comment section. You can copy and paste it into your browser. If you would like to come in to the studio and say something congratulatory, or just want to pop on and ask a question of our honoree today, April Chavez. Now, when you come in, know that you're coming into a show and I'm going to be popping you on the screen. Sometimes I do that and people are like, where am I? Have I been beamed up? What's happening to me? If you use that link, you're coming into today's broadcast. Other than that, just put your comments over there in the comment section and we'll pop them in throughout the broadcast. So let's see, people that are already coming in. I see all of you saying, hey, ladies, all of the CTR Media Network family, they're tuning in. And you know, we're going to talk about what you are over there as well soon. But CTR Media Network is supporting today's broadcast. And we stream in 68 countries and 350 million households under the direction of Dr. Tina Ramsey. So some of them are over here showing love from the CTR Media family. All right. So April, are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Were you born ready?
I was definitely born ready. I'm sure my mother would say so.
Absolutely. I'm very sure she would say so. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I would like for you to take us down memory lane, April, if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what brought you. Don't tell us about the show yet, but just who you are and what makes April who she is today. All right. We'll be right back, everyone, right after this commercial break.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Everyone, we're back and we are talking with April today, and I would like for you to just take us back on where it kind of began for you.
Oh, well, if we go along the lines of how I grew up and my disease, I was diagnosed with lupus at the age of 15. And I had had symptoms since a very, very young age. And so I dealt with those complications and how I felt being in school and being a little different, with all the other kids when I had to leave school and go to the hospital to get blood work done, etc. So I think that
What is lupus? Because not everybody even knows what lupus is.
lupus is it's a systemic condition, and so it's basically the easiest way to say talk about lupus and describe it is that your body is constantly fighting itself. And so it shows up in so many different ways. And the problem with it is it's not diagnosed quickly because you have to have extensive blood work to see what it is and find it. And so it shows up in all these different ways, and you can't really pinpoint it because you think it's this or you think it's that. And so it's really frustrating for someone with lupus because you're going to all of these doctor's appointments and you can't figure out what's going on. And it takes time. And I think that the process is getting faster now, as time goes on. But back then it was very difficult to pinpoint. And another thing about that with me is I'm kind of a unique case, whereas lupus primarily shows up in women and African-American women in their 30s. And so I kind of felt like the loner. So I went to a couple support groups and I felt really, really out of place. I was younger. And I think that one of the big differences with me is because I grew up with this challenge, I didn't want to be different. And I didn't want the disease to define me. And so I chose law enforcement or male dominant fields to show up differently and to kind of prove otherwise, or prove to myself that that's not me.
And you made that conscious choice at an early age.
I think that it took a little bit longer. When I think really it started when I became a mother. And I became a mother at a young age because my doctor said I couldn't get pregnant or have children. So why am I taking birth control? And because back then, the birth control, it's not as nice as it is now. It's not as easy on the system.
Right.
And I couldn't stand it. And so I figured, well, why would I be doing this? And so when I stopped taking it, I became pregnant and I figured, well, I guess I'm going to miscarry. And I did not. So I became a mother very young. I had just turned 19. And so that really shifted my gears with the direction that I wanted to go. It was forensic entomology that I was very fascinated in. And so that I decided that instead of, if I couldn't do the 10 years of school, that I would go into law enforcement because that detective aspect might be a way into that field if I chose to continue on that path. And so, it was a journey and learning things about myself with this autoimmune disease and feeling a lack of trust with doctors because when they had said things and felt, and they seemed to be confident about that, things turned out otherwise.
Completely opposite of what you were thinking in your mind. So you're actually not necessarily playing with science, but you thought you're covered based on the diagnosis and the descriptions that had been shared with you, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. But then you ended up getting pregnant at the age of 19. So that was now I would say, yeah, from a diagnosis perspective, it was total misdiagnosis, correct? Then you went into this male dominant field, which is law enforcement. Tell us how that was for you.
You know, I had such a passion for it, Kim. I feel like I had always wanted to show up as this person that wanted to serve and protect. And I think look at that picture. Was
I
it
wasn't sure if that was you. I was looking back like, I
y
hope this is the right picture. Look at
it
you.
is, and it's so funny. That literally is the only picture I have of me in uniform. So,
Get out of here.
you're welcome,
Why?
world. That's
Why?
all I have. I don't know, Kim. Well, I'll tell you why. The truth is because you're so you're trained that to not share your life. You don't share
Oh.
yourself, you don't share your children, you don't share anything. And
Mm.
and really I didn't have any friends either. Because you know you're just so engulfed in that, and you don't want anyone to know about you. And I had 3 daughters by that time. And so but when I was in that field, I really enjoyed it. I was good at it. And I think that because I had dealt with, like, I had never died, but I've been close to.
Mhm.
And so I realized that, you know, anything could happen at any
Right.
time. Getting in a car is the most dangerous thing you do every day. And so I feel like I was able to show up in that position a little easier because nothing is for sure. You know, death is going to happen to us all.
All
And
of
so
us.
I think it gave me more courage
Right.
to show up, and even with the children.
Wow, I'm going to put that picture up again since it's the only picture we have. And, I think it's so important to put this picture up because of everything that you just shared, April, that this is the only picture that she has in uniform. And sitting there, you look so full of life and so happy and content in that picture based on what I can see from the public eye. But on the backside, what I'm hearing you say is that you were really private, reserved, not letting the world into your real life of having 3 miracle daughters, because that's kind of how you were trained to just keep your life to your own life and keep it to yourself.
Very
Wow.
much. Yes, very much so. I
Interesting.
mean, when you see so much and you deal with the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And so when you're getting spit on and people are telling you what they're going to do to, they don't know your family, but they'll pretend like they do. And they'll say, "Oh, I'm going to do this to your mother, and I'm going to do this to your kids." And, you
Oh,
know, eh, people talk. And not like I didn't feel unsafe or that my family was unsafe, but I made sure that they were by not exposing us in any
mm.
way.
That was wise, very wise decision. And I'm sure if I was in law enforcement, you all would not know all of this balance doctor stuff either. I'd be like, no, because I need to keep it to a certain level of privacy and discretion. So that's really interesting. And what advice, because I really wanted to hear from you too, what advice you might would give either parents or even young people that may get access to this episode that are dealing with disabilities and still having to go to school, or even their parents having to send them to school, knowing that they feel like they're different. Any advice?
My biggest advice, I feel, would be that the biggest change, or the most constant thing, is change. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're always changing, we're always evolving. Just because you feel one way today or in this moment or in this hour doesn't
Right.
mean that that's how you're going to feel tomorrow. So, and really be generous with yourself and compassionate with yourself when you're in those days where things are limited or you can't do as much. That's just right now.
That's right.
And again, it doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be tomorrow, because there's just change is constant. And that's really one of the big lessons that I've learned with having an autoimmune disease, is that it's been ebb and flow, up and down, remission, and, you know, in a flare up. So embrace the moments that you have. And I feel like we all have lessons in that, and we come out with wisdom.
Wow. And so, you know what? I'm learning even more about you today, even though I've coached you for about 6 weeks or so. But hearing more of your backstory today even further solidifies why you're doing the show that you have decided to do. So I'm grateful that you've graced me with your presence to be here on the Kim Jacobs Show, so I can learn more about your backstory. This is nothing short of further confirmation that you will be an incredible host of the new show that you're hosting. So, yay! All right. So, listen, when we come back, what we're going to do is just talk about why did you decide to even start a show? What made you say, this is something that I might want to check out and be interested in and learn more about? It's something that triggered on the inside of you. What was that when we come back? But before we take a break, I definitely want to thank you all that's in the virtual studio audience. Encourage you to share today's broadcast and invite other people to tune in to our episode to learn more about the new host that's hitting the scenes, which is April Chavez. And I do want to pop this picture up. I have a few pictures back here. It's okay to show some of your family now, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Please tell us about this one.
That's my baby girl. That's Toriana. She's my youngest. She's 13.
Hi, Toriana. And look how happy she looks. I am so glad to be able to release these on the Kim Jacobs Show with April's permission. And what an honor and a privilege to see you still smiling and even being here to be alive as a police officer. A lot of people in the line of fire, a line of duty, have lost their lives, and their children are here to mourn them. But I'm grateful to God that you are still here to be able to have this moment in life, and we don't take it for granted, because things change overnight in many instances. So I'm grateful for that. Now I have lots of pictures back here, so you'll have to tell me if I'm popping the right ones up or not. Let me see. Is this? Oh, who is that?
That's me and my love.
Mr. Manley.
That's Manley.
And when did you get married?
Well, it's been in the works for a while. We're actually moving on to our 7th year. So, yep, the 23rd of June is our day. And that was actually, it's a momentum. It's a momental. I'm not saying that right.
Oh, yeah. Manley he has you tongue tied over there, huh?
Yeah, he's always had me tongue tied.
You're like, blah, 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 blah.
Yes. It's that was the first day back in 2016 that we went out and we danced together, and we had our first kiss.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's a big day. And I would say that picture, that photo that you had, was of us being out and dancing, because that's what we love to do. That is what brings our energy up, and we share so much passion and joy together.
Well, awesome. So you remember the first day you kissed. You remembered a lot of great things that had you tongue-tied, almost speaking in tongues over there today. So let's see. What about this picture here?
That's my 2 youngest girls. And so Chloe Jean, and then Toriana again, like you saw before. And we were actually out dancing. It's kind of nice when you find venues that, you know, is age appropriate. And so that was a night that we got to go out and all dance together. And that was really fun. I like that I can share that joy with them and just show them that you shouldn't be afraid to express yourself in movement.
That's so good. This is awesome. I'm learning so much. You didn't show me these pictures when we were in training, by the way. So it took you coming on the Kim Jacobs Show to reveal some of these backstory pictures.
Yep, there they are again, my 2 girls, and we were in Colorado. So we came from Colorado, we lived there, but this is in the Springs.
Nice.
And Garden of the Gods, and we just had a good day together hiking. That's another one of my joys. And so as a mom, I have always wanted to share that with my daughters, and to just show them to find joy in that physical movement and nature.
nature is so, I actually climbed what's here in the Carolinas, Crowder's Mountain with my children. I was like, somebody needs to come back down that mountain and help me because I had to get one of those old Moses sticks. I was like, I have to get a stick and everything just to make it up that mountain. But it was memorable and a time that we will always cherish. We made it to the top and we were standing there like, celebrating.
Yeah.
But it took a lot to get there.
Yeah,
Let's
but that's
say
how it feels, right? After it, when you get to the summit and you're just like, "Oh, I made it."
finally, I made
Yeah.
it up here. You never want to feel like you've arrived, but when you've climbed to the top of a mountain, yes, I have arrived for real. And it was only
Mhm.
by the grace of God that I made it up here. Let's see another photo here. What is this?
Oh, we had so much fun. This is Halloween, this last Halloween, at our new home here in Texas, and we just had so much fun dressing up, and I tell you what, we have never been in a neighborhood that celebrates, holidays like our neighborhood does.
Okay.
It's like in a movie, Kim. I mean, there's, like, thousands of kids on the streets.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, I had
hilarious.
bags and bags and bags of candy, and we just ran out. So yeah, it was very, very much like a movie. I mean, there's food trucks in our neighborhood, and it's this huge gathering and party. So we really took advantage of that. And I hadn't dressed up in years for Halloween. Neither had Manly, so we just had fun.
Now, do I have a picture of your you said you have 3 children. Did you send me one with your third child?
I don't think I sent you a picture of Sage.
Oh,
Sage
okay.
Sage Amaya is my oldest.
I
She's
just wanted to
in
make sure I'm not leaving somebody out. I'm like, where am I missing
No, you
another
didn't.
child?
I'm sorry. I should have, and Sage, and she had some beautiful professional photos done.
Well, that's okay. Send me one during a commercial break, and I
Okay.
will make sure that I pop Sage up. I know that I wasn't sure if it was like some rationale behind why we weren't putting it up, but we will pop you up. And obviously, you're near and dear to your mommy's heart, and you'll be talked about throughout today's broadcast even further, dear child. Okay, so let's see. What is this photo here?
Oh, you know what? That's Sage.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I see another child with a tongue out, but I
Yeah,
wasn't.
and
You did send the picture in then.
yeah, and that was a number of years ago, but that's just us being silly. Kim, I was a single mom for a long time. So
Wow,
me and those girls tried to have fun as much as we could.
that's
And
good.
so I think that it's really important. I didn't take a lot of photos. I mean, when I say that I didn't share my life, I didn't even take photos. And I think being a single mom after a divorce, it just furthered that where I felt, um, I don't know. I just felt like because I didn't have a family or a man that I just couldn't enjoy those things or do
Right.
those things. And so I didn't. Um, and sometimes I feel kind of bad for the girls because, I didn't have all these photos up in the house of us. And so the photos that I do have are pretty special because it wasn't often that we took them.
But look at the memories that you did experience, whether you ever captured them in a photo or not, because everybody's not a photo person. But if I actually started taking significant amount of photos once my son Gabriel passed away. I was like, I will always, if my children, they know, I'm like, take the photo. And they're like, Mom, we don't really feel like take the photo because it might in life only be the last photos that I ever have of that person on this earth. And I know it's not a guilt trip, but everybody knows in my family now. They're just like anytime they just start posing because they know I need the photos. It's a part of my healing process.
Absolutely. I think that the course of life definitely changes how we choose to show up differently.
Yeah. And this is a photo. I'll give you an example. A photo I took of my children back. This is just an aside, but this photo, I have it embedded in here, and it's my son Gabriel and all of them. That's how close they were. And they just always slept in the bed, even though they had their own beds, they always slept in the bed together. And Gabriel always slept with the football because he was an avid football player. At
Oh,
12 years old, he was 5'10. And so here he is laying in the bed. You can't recreate these moments. This is like
no.
priceless and it's real. Him sleeping with all of his brothers, everybody's laying on top of each other. And I captured that moment, not knowing that I would need that moment to hold on to in life.
Yes.
Yeah. So single
Mhm.
motherhood, as you're talking about that, because we're going to transition to the next phase here, but you're dropping such wise wisdom and nuggets that I want people to just grab hold to them. Being a single mother, what advice do you give to others that are trying to figure out how to love on their children, but they're also like, oh, I don't have this man or this woman anymore. And they're trying to figure out how to put it all together without letting one piece drop or the other piece suffer. Thoughts?
Mm.
So you're
Boy,
becoming an expert here on the Kim Jacobs show. You didn't know that, huh?
parenthood is tough.
Yes.
And, we all show up a little differently in our parenting styles.
That's right.
My mom will say it too, and my children too. I showed up really militaristic almost. And I think that I was harder on my kids because uh, you know, I I never knew when my time was gonna come.
Right.
And so I just wanted to give them all the information, all of my wisdom, and I wanted them to be the best that they could possibly be in the world. And I probably did that in the wrong way, but we always feel that way, I think, as parents. I
There's no
think that
guide.
we're
You just do it to the best of your ability.
I think yes, and my words of advice would be to lead by example.
That's so
Period. Always. And that's all you can do is just take care of yourself because that's how they're going to learn to take care of themselves and love themselves. And they're going to see your example even if you don't think that they're listening to you because
they're always listening.
but they are. And that's definitely the advice I would give.
Wow. Okay. So you're hearing it right here from a new host of a show that's coming out, and you don't want to miss any piece of today's conversation because she's going to be doing a big reveal on when her new show is going to hit the market and how each of you will be able to tune in and learn from this beautiful soul, April Chavez. So, what we're going to do is take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I am going to find out more about what made you decide to take the training course on how to start your own show from scratch? And what were some of the things that you learned? Would you recommend it to other people? Let's talk about that when we come back right after this commercial break. We'll be right. Right, everyone, we're back and we're talking with new talk show host April Chavez. And April, I would love for you to tell us more about your experience going through the training, how to start your own show from scratch.
Oh, the training that I experienced with you, is that what you would like me to answer?
With whatever you want, you can talk about whatever direction you want to
Uh,
go in. What was training like for you?
um,
What were some of
well,
the things you learned?
I think honestly, I have to start with when we first met. And so really it was you who I adored and loved. And when I walked into the room and I saw you for the first time, you looked like an angel to me and like you were just this beaming ray of light. And do you remember what I told you? I said that you were beautiful.
Aw.
And you just were such a ray of light to me. For whatever reason, I was very attracted to your glow, your energy.
Wow.
And
See, Sandra Yancey has that effect on all of us because she brings people together that have that glow that's just kind of permeating out of their pores. So that's a tribute to her.
well, it's you too. I was drawn to you, and so that's really where it started. Otherwise, it doesn't mean that we would want to work together, right? And I think that also, us both being managing directors for eWomen Network, we within that wheelhouse, we do business with people we like, know, and trust. And there's so many people within eWomen Network that share these great values, and I feel more comfortable and confident doing business with anyone. Or we have the people that we can talk to about and ask them their opinions and if they've worked with them before, etc. And what I would say about your training is my favorite part is that you're just so encouraging. And you are so positive. And I didn't know that a talk show is how I was going to show up in business to the world. I knew that I wanted to do something. I knew that, it was going to be in the health and wellness arena and in innovative science and anything that draws us closer to, a less stress environment, to the evolution of society. And I didn't know how that was going to be. I thought about coaching, I thought about programs. And really, I came to the conclusion that I wanted to push out information to the world. And then you came along. And then here it is. It's like, okay, well, this is the perfect platform to do just that. And it's not only about me. I get to interview other people where you can listen to their stories and advice and wisdom. So I think definitely it's the encouragement aspect. It's you help people gain this confidence that they may not have seen otherwise.
Well, you have confidence deep down in the inside of you, and it's going to show in every aspect of your show. And so, would you recommend this training for other people to be able to have maybe just the idea? Maybe they're motivational speakers, authors, business owners, entrepreneurs, and they're looking to use some type of platform to have a deeper connection with their own clients or family members or friends or past classmates. It's all kind of people that people are looking to stay connected with. Would you recommend this particular training?
Absolutely. I think I would recommend this training to so many people in so many areas. I think that it's good to know how to utilize a platform like this. I think it's important to be able to show up with a more professional look if that's what you're going for. And also to get the exposure that you're looking for. I mean, the fact that we can blast this out on so many different platforms, and it's not only the visual, it's the audio. So it's can be considered the podcast as well. And so you're really branching out. And the way that we're doing this, just like we're doing this live right now, there's like nothing like that, because if we mess up, we just have to keep moving and keep going. And you have to show up in your most authentic self.
That's right.
And there's no cutting or editing. I mean, maybe later on when we save it, we can do that and we can compile it into a shorter version for shorts or what have you. But this is it. So what people get to see is so raw. And I really love that. And for me, it's giving me another sort of confidence that I didn't otherwise have. And if I want to start looking into speaking gigs, then this is a really great, it's time for me to learn, like in the best way I can, if you just jump right out and do it.
Wow. Well, okay. So listen, this is if you're interested in learning how to start a show from scratch, or you may never even want a show, but you just want to learn how to utilize StreamYard only, which is a professional platform that I can train you one-on-one how to utilize this platform in your own platform. And if you're interested in the show piece, how to own your own content and start your show, both video and audio, from scratch. And what better person than Dr. Les Brown, international motivational speaker, who's going to tell us why he thinks that you should take this training course. So we'll be right back after we hear this communication from Dr. Les Brown. And we're going to hear from you, April, again, right after this 3 minutes or so. And what we're going to hear from you is tell us about your show, what they can expect, and let's get ready for April Chavez with her new show, The Wellness Driven Life, right after we hear from Dr. Les Brown. We'll be right back. Kim Jacobs, the host of The Kim Jacobs Show, and you all know who's right here with me, Dr. Les Brown. How are you, Dr. Brown?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time you want to give yourself a competitive edge. If you got a message, you have some knowledge or experience, a story, or if you want to do something adventurous and exciting with your life that can increase your credibility, expose you to millions of people. I am encouraging you to have your own talk show. I used to have a talk show. That one talk show catapulted me to another level. Now there are more people watching the internet, as you are aware, than television.
Yes.
Come on, somebody.
That's right.
Dr. Kim Jacobs, she trained people on how to have their own talk show. She will train you how to do that. And now with me working, partnering with her, now you have the combination of an audience, expansive audience. We have over 4 million people in all of our platforms, and the coaching you need to grow your business, to grow your multi-level marketing organization, to draw more attention to yourself in this noisy economy. Go ahead, Kim.
So in the training that I do, Les, I actually do a 6-week training. It's 1 hour per week. And each week I meet with the individuals one-on-one. We go through and we talk about all of the things that's necessary for a show to become a reality. We go from how to actually identify your focus area, what's going to be your ideal customer that's going to be tuning in. We'll talk about how to get guests, how to get sponsorship, how to go about getting your lighting, your branding, and your banners, and everything that you need to know. And guess what, Les? They own their own content at the end of the day.
And that's exciting. Now, if you're ready to create a shift in your business and in your life and increase your cash flow, I want you to go to KimJacobsConsulting.com. It's right there on the screen, KimJacobsConsulting.com. You know, people say opportunity knocks on every door. Right. No, opportunity stands by silently waiting for you to recognize it. So I want you to recognize that this is a time for you. This is an incredible time to have your own talk show. It establishes a level of credibility.
Yes.
And by being exposed to people on a regular basis, it allows you to strategically begin to impact and attract your audience. She can take you in a place in yourself that you can't go by yourself. So go to KimJacobsConsulting.com. That's KimJacobsConsulting.com. Did I say KimJacobsConsulting.com? Yes, you did. Very good. Make sure you go there and sign up for the coaching, and we're looking forward to working with you. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That's my story, and that's Kim's story, and we're sticking to it. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
He's a character.
Yes, a complete character. But I'm honored that he's endorsing the program. And so I look forward to working with any of you that are interested in getting your message out, because all of us have a story to share. So talk to us, April, about your new show.
Thank you. Well, I just have to quote Les. Opportunity stands by silently waiting for you to recognize it. I just loved what he said there. And so I have to give a shout out to that. And really, this show is me doing just that, taking the opportunity and, doing something about it, actually showing up, sharing those photos. This is a big thing for me. Really being able to put myself out on a worldwide scope is something that I have considered, and at the same time, it's kind of terrifying. So it's really coming out of your shell to be able to do that. And what I'm most excited about the show, like I mentioned earlier, is being able to share other people's stories. Stories is how we relate, and it is how we feel, and we build those connections when you apply the memory and a thought and a feeling behind them. And, we're able to relate and then apply things in our own lives because we're inspired. And so that's what I'm excited to bring to people. And it's not only that. So the Wellness Driven Life Show is under this massive umbrella. And the approach that I wanted to go was I didn't want to put it in a box. I wanted to bring something bigger to the picture. And there's many different facets that we're going to be bringing. And, you know, because I feel that our overall wellness is a balance of so many things. And when we're not in alignment with those, then we're out of balance, and then life just isn't going away. And I mean, this is including even finances. Finances is the number one cause of divorce. And so, you know, if we don't have balance in that, and, you know, we're not healthy. And so also, like I mentioned earlier, is I really want to go into some scientific approaches and science that's coming about, technology, and being able to embrace these new developments, because a lot of them are really geared towards making us all better. And I want to shed light on the good, because I think it's easy for people to go down that rabbit hole of feeling like we're going in a bad direction.
Right.
And I don't believe that. And I don't like to concentrate on that. So I'm going to be bringing out as much positive as I can to shed light that we are doing amazing things and we really do care. And I think that we're just evolving into this beautiful species, and we're going in wonderful directions. And so science innovations that, again, bring less stress, because stress is the number one killer.
Yes.
And those are tied to emotion. And we could go in depth with that. But really, what are the designs that people are creating to lessen the stress? Because when we calm ourselves down, we're lessening that. And if we're just taking some time to breathe, then it's centering ourselves once more. And that's just helping us and helping everybody around us.
Yeah, April Chavez is going to be helping not only herself, but she's going to be helping everyone that tunes in to the Wellness Driven Life Show. When can people expect to see your show? What time? What day? Tell us a little bit more.
Well, Kim, the launch is today.
Yes, yes. I just didn't want to reveal it.
Yes. So we have, I have my first guest today, Dylan, and he's a fascinating guy. I've got so many wonderful people lined up. So I definitely hope you tune in. We're on so many platforms. You can find it. Okay. So 3:45 Central. So you can figure out your own time zone, but that is the time that we're going to be going live. Yes, it's live. It's not pre-recorded. It's just like this. And man, Kim, you are so wonderful for encouraging me to be so brave, because truly, I was going to do it once a week, because that's what I was comfortable with. That was my comfort level, my comfort zone. Because I was like, how am I gonna find people, and how am I gonna be able to show up and be brave to go in front of a camera every single day? And you just are so inspiring, because you do this every day. And I felt like, well, if she can do it, then I can do it.
And that is what a great coach, I believe, helps push and birth out people that do even way beyond anything that I could ever do. I really ask God to bless you at a lightning speed rate, way more on a viral rate. That would be something that everyone can grab hold to and be able to benefit from as they learn from you and the Wellness Driven Life Show every day, every weekday. 3:45 p.m. Central Time, right?
Yes.
So make sure you all tune in and check out this new talk show host, and her first show kicks off today. So just do your conversion. It's 3:45 p.m. Central Time, and convert that to Eastern Standard, and make sure you're in your virtual seats, because you're going to be in for a tremendous treat. All right. When we come back, we're going to hear more from April, but we're also going to hear from all of you in the virtual studio audience. So now flood those comments in, because we're going to do like a flash round. of all of the comments that's come in throughout the broadcast and give you a chance to have the stage as the virtual studio audience. So let me just take a quick break. Well, first of all, I'm going to take a break for one of our episode sponsors, and then I'm going to come back and just show you the intro to her show. Go back to you in the virtual studio audience. We'll be right back. April, I see your back teeth. You are ready, girl. You're smiling and your cheeks are burning. I'm excited. I know Manly's smiling back there. I don't see him, but I know he like, my baby.
You're going to get it going.
I am. It's going to be the intro to the Wellness Driven Life Show. Here you go. How does it feel to be beautiful? The Wellness Driven Life Show is hitting the scenes today at 3:45 p.m. Central Time. Make sure that you're in your virtual seats. Let's go to all of your virtual studio audience comments that's been flooding in and just acknowledge you for a few moments. April, please, any comments that you want to address, say thank you, whatever, please make sure you do that. I see one from CTR Media Network podcasters, and tell everybody why they're on today.
Say that again.
Hey, lady over there, you're on the interview. Tell Manly to go. Get out of this. I know Manly's right there. He's like, Spade, get away, Manly. I know it's you back there. Okay, listen. CTR Media Network podcasters is pleased to announce that there is a new host that's joined the platform, and that's none other than who, April? I'm leading in now.
Oh, me?
Yes, you're on. She's streaming on CTR Media Network. So not only is she going to be streaming where you all will get to see her on social media, she will be streaming with Dr. Tina Ramsey as our founder and CTR Media podcast family in 68 countries and 350 million households. So bravo, congratulations.
Yes.
Hit the ground running, April.
Yes, thank you. I'm thrilled. And Dr. Tina, I was also on her show the other night, so that's going to be airing at some point. But she's been fabulous, and the CTR Media Network has been a great support. So I love what they're doing and what they're standing for, and just the branching out that they're doing.
Well, let me change your wording. I love what we're doing because you're a part of the family.
Thank you. I love what we're doing.
Right. Make sure if you want to pop on screen and use that link that's there, and it'll bring you right into the broadcast. Let's see. Somebody named Hillary says, "Yay, we love April." Let's see. Lots of other. Oh, Dennis said, "Hey, much love to you," and he understands everything that you're sharing.
Oh.
And Dr. Lotus Richey from the Lotus Richey Ignite show, I'm sure you're going to be on her show too. Because if she sees you on here, she's going to bring you over there.
Ooh, I like that picture.
Love. We spread the joy in the podcast and talk show world. We just share our guests and give more exposure to all of our audiences. So anyway, Dr. Lotus Richey Ignites show. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go and like and subscribe over there. The Balance Doctor is in the house. Let's share this broadcast. Hello, April. She says, so happy to see you on the show.
It's a pleasure. And I love your picture. You just look regal. Is that
regal?
A good word?
Yeah, she is regal.
Yeah.
Get to know and grow. She said, "Oh, Trudy Vanuti. I miss you, Trudy. She used to live here and moved very far away. And it was an Italian restaurant with a man that played, I think is it the Philharmonic? What is that thing that you play with the accordion.
Yes.
Accordion. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't seen Trudy in many years. She says, looking beautiful, Kim. Hey, Trudy. Miss you. Love you. Okay. Dr. Lotus says, tell us more about your new show and what we want to know. So I'm going to do this Dr. Lotus Roche style. She'll say, so tell us this is what she says on her show. Y'all got to go check it out. Give all of the viewers and the listening audience a little bit of the secret sauce that they can expect when they tune in to the Wellness Driven Life Show. What's the secret sauce?
Secret sauce. Well, similar to what I'm doing on your show, Kim, it is really me sharing a lot of my stories, which are powerful in and of themselves, and I hope that they will inspire. And also just, the other people. I mean, I've just got incredible people coming on. Carmel Bell, she'll be on, I think, next Monday. And she is one of the top 10 medical intuitives in the world. Okay. And she has a fascinating story. So that's the juice. Is the stories. It's the stories.
That's that secret sauce, y'all. How many of you ready for it? Make sure you hashtag the Wellness Driven Life. Hashtag the Wellness Driven Life. Speaking in Tahiz, I don't know. You going too deep on me, Dr. Lotus. You got me up here like, what is it? I got to look at it. Okay, break it down for me. Okay, I know you know because you lived in Japan, so I know you know. Beautiful pictures. Thanks for sharing. Okay, let's see. Hillary said, totally identify with being a single mom and not feeling complete without a partner. Wow, that's such a valid point. When you're thinking that you're going to be in this lifelong partnership relationship and things take a different turn, you do feel like a piece of you is missing. And it's almost like a death, in my opinion. I can tell you that personally. Okay. Cute photos. All of them are cute. Okay. Any other comments that you all have? Let's see. I saw a lot of sponsorship information from today's episode sponsors. And any other comments? Would you suggest, this is a question, that they start a show with creative content? Oh, you're probably talking to me. Because I'm the coach.
Yeah, you're the expert in this, Kim, I think.
Don't start asking me these questions. Dennis, as far as creative content, I think that most people, when they're starting a show, you don't necessarily know all of the pieces of the puzzle. And it's like kind of having like a puzzle just thrown out there and nobody shows you the box. They walk away with it. And so what I do is I help you be able to put those pieces of the puzzle together and know where each piece fits so that you can have your creative content come together in the image that you want it to appear to the public. And you own your own content as you do that as well. So yes, it can be as creative as you want it to be, or it can be as confusing as you want it to be until the picture becomes clear. So that's the answer. Okay. And I help you do that on that during that 6-week training course. All right, let's see. Another comment came in. So excited. Oh, this is Carmel. So excited to hear your first episode,
Carmel.
April. Your one amazing life. Carmel Ecker is here. We're so happy to have you in the virtual studio audience. And Dennis said, wonderful, wonderful. All right, everybody. So we're going to transition at this point because we do have someone here that is formally kicking off her show, April Chavez. And she is, we're going to play one more commercial because I think it's befitting that we do this. And first of all, let me put this photo up to let you know that today we have been joined together to celebrate the graduation of April Chavez from the Kim Jacobs Consulting Training course, How to Create a Talk Show from Scratch. And so that is what this celebratory occasion is for today. Make sure you all put some congratulatory comments, shout outs, share the broadcast with your friends, family, coworkers, e-women people, everybody. But let's learn a little bit more about CTR Media Network, and then we're going to be closing out here very shortly.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, everyone. So we are back. I will put a link in the comment section if you are interested in learning more about CTR Media Network. Here, I'm going to pop this link right here for you, and you can go ahead and click there, fill out the form, and someone will be reaching out to you. All right. So, all right, April, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel ready.
Do you feel more ready now that you came on and did your graduation ceremony?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think because, it's one thing to interview others and it's another to be the one that's being interviewed. And also really sharing your story like me when I haven't. So it's just like this beautiful transition into the future of possibilities. So
that is so awesome. Awesome. And let me see. I see you said you sent me an email. Now, can you believe since we've been on, I have so many emails. So did you send it to my Yahoo account?
Yes.
All right. Oh, you know what? I got to keep in mind. I told you what happens with the emails. I do not know why they are forcing our relationship to be there, and that, oh yes, that's exactly where it is. Can you believe it? And you know where that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I have no idea why they keep doing that to us, but we're going to change that. Anyway, make sure you all put your celebratory comments because we're getting ready to close out here. But I want to present one more thing that I am trying to grab right quick. I think I'll be able to grab it. Here it is. All right. Yes, this is well worth grabbing because we have a silly photo over here, right? But we don't want just a silly photo of her beautiful daughter, Queen. We would like to show you something professional. So during the commercial break, we have now acquired this photo. Yes, of Sage. Tell us more about Sage.
She is my first miracle, and she's going to be
gorgeous.
20 years old this year. So yeah, she is. She's beautiful. Of course, all of our children are beautiful. And I think that it was really a blessing that I was able to get some professional photos for her because as we all know, they're not cheap. So that was
right.
my gift to her for her graduation. And it's so funny because she looks like a model and she hated the process the whole time. She did not want to be there, did not want to be taking photos, and they all turned out just amazing. And that was just one that I couldn't even see him, so I just gave you the first one
that's gorgeous. And Pamela Howard, who is our luxury event planning specialist here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And she said, that's a beautiful young lady. If you've not planned an event so far working through Pamela Howard, you're missing out. So definitely let her know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you her way, and you will be right in the appropriate timeline of everything for your upcoming event. All right. So right now we're going to transition to the final piece and present some celebratory music here. We are graduating April Chavez today. And here we go. Congratulations to April Chavez. And as you can see, it says, Certificate of Completion, the Kim Jacobs online course, which is how to start your own show from scratch. The certificate is presented to April Chavez today, February 23rd, 2023. And it's presented by me to you. And thank you Cassandra and I think Shannon, different ones of you all that have created these templates to make the presentation wonderful. So thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to you, April.
Thank you. That's beautiful, Kim. I'm going to frame it.
I'm going to send it to you right now. Any closing comments that you have? Well, let's see. The studio audience may have two more comments over here. Congratulations. Congratulations. Pastor Keisha Paris said, congratulations to you. She's at a ministry here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she's a powerhouse speaker. Yes. Let's see. Hillary says, congratulations. Excited to watch the upcoming episodes. You are radiant, strong, and dynamic, April.
Oh, thank you, Hillary.
All right, everybody. Listen, I know throughout this broadcast, I did give you scrolling down beneath how you can support Kim Jacobs Show. I do want to let you know you can always pour into the broadcast. We do this Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's only operational through community contributions from members like yourself, from community members. So take a moment and just do any amount that works for your budget to allow this broadcast to continue bringing wonderful guests like April Chavez and others that have come on this platform to help bring balance to the world, one household at a time. So you can do that through any of the means available. And for the podcast listeners, because you're not seeing this, it's through Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc., PayPal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., or Venmo at The Kim Jacobs Show. And you can also become a Patreon member and get some exclusive back office after party content. All right, everybody. April, congratulations. And where can people stay connected with you?
Oh, goodness. Well, you can go to the wellnessdrivenlifeshow.com, or same thing with Facebook, The Wellness Driven Life Show, all spelled out, all together. And that is where you're going to connect with me. My email is april@thewellnessdrivenlifeshow.com. You can connect with me there.
I'm going to type all of this. This is a lot. Let me just figure this out right here. Wait a minute. I'm going to put that up first. Then I want to make sure I put the Wellness Driven Life Show.com.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to make sure you all, and I'm going to put this in the comment section. Make sure you all stay connected with the wellnessdrivenlifeshow.com. And I'm also putting it here for you on the banner because I want to make sure you all know. What else did you just give? An email or email? What was the email?
April@thewellnessdrivenlifeshow.com.
All right. I normally have somebody backstage, but I'm doing it myself today. That's why I teach you. You got to know how to do all of this stuff just in case, right? All right. The wellnessdrivenlifeshow.com, or email April@thewellnessdrivenlifeshow.com. This woman will answer her own communications, and she is eager to get to know you better. You might even be a guest on her upcoming episodes. So make sure that you reach out to her. And as you can see, she's a vibrant, motivated host that's going to love on you and help share your story about how you deal with having the wellness-driven life that God purposed you to have. All right. Yay, April. I think that's all we can do. I see Mother Harper. She's in her 80s using technology here, and she says congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I wanted to just do one more mention, going back to Dennis's question about, the creative content aspect of a show. I feel like really so much of the creative aspect is when you do your intro and your outro. And I think that's a really fun part that you get to play around with and be creative with. So I hope that answers your question. I know that I had a lot of fun with mine, and even with my music, that was amazing how it came about, because the band that Manly and I always went and danced to in Colorado, Guild of Ages, well, we worked with the drummer, and he had his own content, and he let me use a piece of his music, a song that he wrote. And so you can really make it your own.
Yes. I love the inspiration and the feel that I receive just seeing your intro, working with you, and seeing the possibilities blossom. Because when we first come together, it's just a blank canvas there. Then we start trying to figure out how we're going to paint this masterpiece. And I thoroughly enjoyed working with you. Let's see. Your outro, I want to share that right quick too. And I know we went a little bit over today, but it's a special occasion, y'all. We went over because she's graduating. All right, let's see if I can just show your outro briefly here. To be beautiful. Well, you're going to learn more on the Wellness Driven Life Show, and it's 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:45 p.m. Central Time. So you all are in for a treat. Get in your virtual seats today at 3:45 p.m. Central Time, 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you're going to be hearing April and her new guest. And thank you all in the virtual studio audience for being such active participants. And I see, oh, I love this intro. I need to redo mine. Yay, Pamela said. Looks great, Sheree Moore says. Sheree said, congratulations. Dennis says it's intriguing. And everybody, make sure as we close out, hashtag the wellness driven life. Hashtag that, let's get it trending. The wellness driven life. All of us just hashtag that for a few moments. The wellness driven life, the wellness driven life, put your hashtags. I see the wellness driven life. I see congratulations. I see you guys love the outro. Pastor Keisha says, I see all of these comments coming in. Make sure you all continue to stay connected. The wellness driven life show.com. Whew, I'm out of breath. I need to go take a nap now. Here you go. I see the wellness driven life, the wellness driven life. You guys are just awesome in the virtual studio audience. Thank you, April, for being here today. I hope you had a great experience.
I did. Thank you so much, Kim. It's been a pleasure.
All right, everybody. On that note, we're going to close out. We'll see you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Have a great day, everybody. Stay backstage, April. And Manley, I know you're back there, so I might as well say your name too. All right, have a great one. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.